Hello everybody! Welcome to Rewards Canada's This Week in Rewards for October 21st to 27th, 2023, right here on the Rewards Canada YouTube channel and on the Rewards Canada podcast. This is your weekly dose of loyalty rewards, travel, and credit card happenings in Canada. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you've all had a great week. I know my week's been pretty good. Went by super quick. The big thing, we released our Canada's Choice Awards. That's where you guys all voted for your favorite credit cards and loyalty programs. I won't discuss it here because we have a whole nother podcast and video for that, which I will link to here. So anyways, let's get right into the thick of things. But before we do, I want to say, if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and be sure to hit that notification bell so that you get notified every time one of these episodes gets posted to our channel. So the first thing we're going to touch upon this week was the big news, which kind of made me mad in some ways, but mad just personally because just all this work they've put into getting this stuff ready, is from Air France KLM and Flying Blue. They've gone and changed some of their reward rates like a week after I posted the five amazing low-cost redemptions from the Cobalt card, and of course the Flying Blue economy class rewards, which we've pretty much raved about for just over the last year, have been changed on us. So let's get right into that. So let's start right with those economy class rewards. So if you followed Rewards Canada for the better part of a year, you will know that Air France KLM Flying Blue introduced in summer of 2022 15,000 mile one-way rewards between Canada and Europe, North Africa, and Turkey. This was like the lowest in the market, the best in the market, and up until a week ago, that's what they were charging for these flights. And now, all of a sudden, this week, they are bumped up to 20,000. So darn, that amazing award, I guess, let's put amazing with two A's because it's still an amazing reward, but it's only going to be one A now. So before it was amazing, and now it's just amazing because it's 20,000 miles one way from Eastern Canada to those three places: Europe, Turkey, North Africa. And what this has done is this has standardized it across Canada, because that's what we were looking at for myself, being in Calgary, and departures out of Edmonton and Vancouver all start at 20,000 as well, 15,000 from out east. So these have changed. So that means it's like 30,000 round or no longer is it 30,000 round trips, going to be 40,000 Flying Blue miles. Still the best in market for economy class, but to have a 33% increase, ouch, on such a good reward. And then so that's going to bump up what it's going to cost when the promo rewards come out at 25%. I know many of our readers redeemed at that amazing 11,250 mile level when it was 25% off to Europe and that. So now it's going to be 15,000. And I should have seen this coming. I put this in the blog post because Ottawa for the last 2 months has been pricing at 20,000. And with the promo rewards, 15,000. And now, when I reached out to Air France KLM in September, when they first came out with these promo rewards in September, they said there was a glitch, but it was late in the month, so they weren't going to fix it. October comes around, promo rewards, Ottawa's in there again, but again, 20,000 standard, 15,000 discounted. So that was a premonition from them, not even premonition, it was foreshadowing. It was like it's already there. It was implemented for Ottawa, but now it's also been implemented for Montreal, Quebec City, and Toronto. So you're going to be paying 20,000 miles one way in economy class. Like I said, this is still an amazing deal. Sure, it stings to go up 33%, but it's still better than Aeroplan. It's still better than British Airways Executive Club. In most cases with British Airways Executive Club. I mean, Executive Club to Dublin out of Toronto still maybe a better option there. But again, it's untouchable, especially if you combine it with something like the American Express Cobalt card. It's untouchable in terms of transatlantic rewards out of Canada in economy class. So that was it. So that's economy class. And then they changed premium economy rewards and standardized it across Canada. So premium economy was 30,000 one way out of Eastern Canada and 40,000 one way out of Western Canada. And unfortunately for those of you out in Eastern Canada, that's been bumped up to 35,000. So 5,000 extra miles one way for those rewards. And luckily for us out in Western Canada, it's been dropped to 35,000 from 45,000, or 40,000, my apologies there. So dropped by 5,000 miles. So again, bad news for those on the East Coast. Good news for those of us out West. Standardized at 35,000 across the country. But the great news in these changes, and this is for all Canadians across the board and those in the States, because these are the same numbers that are going to be used for departures out of States. So if you want to, if you can't find availability out of Canada and you live in Vancouver and there's availability out of Seattle, it's good to know that these rewards will be the same there. And business class rewards on Air France and KLM out of Canada are now going to start at 50,000 miles one way. What were they before? Well, it's 55,000 on KLM out of Eastern Canada, 65,000 out of Western Canada. Air France was 70,000 out of Eastern Canada and 80,000 out of Western Canada. So we're going from 55 to 80,000 miles for one-way business class, dropping to as low as 50,000 miles. That's huge. Like from the 80,000 to 50, that's a 37.5% decrease for business class rewards. This is like what every miles and points enthusiast dreams of, is to have a drop in price like this. There are very few other programs can match that. I mean, Iberia has some okay ones through Avios with the Iberia Plus program. British Airways, if I recall correctly, maybe they don't even more. I should have checked this. I think there was occasions where you could get 50,000 Avios in business class across the pond, but they charge a lot more in fees. But yeah, in general, this is great. This is great news for people looking for business class redemptions. And in general, when I've been covering Air France KLM Flying Blue for many years, especially with the monthly promo rewards, and they always have at least what I would say is good availability. Is there great availability? Sometimes not, but I would say they have good to better availability than a lot of programs out there in terms of business class. Yes, they price dynamic, and that's what I'll say here. All these prices, this new 20,000 for economy class, 35 premium economy, 50 for business. These are all starting points because they do price dynamically, so they can go up from there. It depends on what the flight is pricing for, cash-wise, how busy the flight is. There's so many factors that go in. But every time I look at availability out of Air France or on Air France or KLM's website, there's always some availability there at these lowest amounts. Sometimes it may not be a lot. And like if you have a specific day to travel, sometimes that business class reward might be 150,000 miles one way. But if you're flexible and open, the program's great because the availability is there at these amounts. And sometimes there's a lot of seats, like 4, 5, 6 seats at these amounts. So great. This is great news for business class. So as I said in the blog post, economy class has taken a hit for those of you out in Eastern Canada and premium economy. Western Canada wins for premium economy, but all of Canada wins with these shining business class rates starting at 50,000 miles. Big for those who have the Air France KLM World Elite Mastercard. Big for American Express membership rewards members, and big for Air France KLM frequent flyers. Like I have a feeling, as soon as this news gets out there, and it's been covered by most of the Points and Miles blogs, but as soon as this knowledge gets out there to even like Aeroplan frequent flyers or even British Airways frequent flyers, they may take a second, hard look at Air France KLM Flying Blue if they're especially the type who like to redeem for business class, because this is going to give you a lot of bang for your buck. So yeah, big from Air France KLM, big news from them in that they are changing their have changed their earn rates. A hit to economy, but great for business class. So yeah, so that's the Air France KLM news in general. I think it's a positive. Yeah. I mean, that 5,000 mile boost on economy class, 33% numbers wise, that's big. But in the whole grand scheme of things, of the whole points and miles world, still a great redemption. The economy class. It's just unfortunately, it's just not as cheap as it was before. And now we're going to go right into another program change, and this one is a straight on full 100%. We would call it devaluation, and that's Desjardins with their credit cards. They are instituting spending caps on their cards and actually shifting some spending categories or merchants out of accelerated categories. So what we have here, and this is across the board on all their rewards cards, they're putting in spending caps that are starting January 1st, 2024, and in general they're going low. For example, I'm not going to go into all of them here because it's a pretty long post, so I'll put a link. If you want to see all the different Desjardins cards and how they're being changed, check out the link below and read the blog post. All the details are in there. But like their most popular, like World Elite Mastercards, their Cashback or their Odyssey, which have 3% and 4% earn rates on groceries, those are going to be capped at $10,000 per year. That's not a terribly low cap, but it's not terribly high either compared to, like, MBNA Rewards World Elite is 25,000. Cobalt card is 2,500 per month, or 30,000. Sorry, I said MBNA is 25,000. MBNA is 50,000. My apologies there. Somebody was going to get me on that one, but yeah, it's 50,000. So there's cards that can earn a lot more. And so, like in the post, I compared this to Bank of Montreal's Cashback World Elite Mastercard. Sure, it earns 5% on groceries, but that's only $500 per month. At 5% or $6,000 per year, so you get $300 cash back. And that's the same on one of these World Elite cards from Desjardins. That's the 3% one. On $10,000, that's only $300 cash back. And then everything after that, you earn the base earn rate. So, yeah, unfortunate they are putting these caps in place. Technically, it is a devaluation, even though the earn rates haven't changed. But, any spending above that amount, you're earning less. So you're earning less value. And then they are pulling convenience stores out of the grocery category. This surprised me, especially with putting caps in. I mean, if they didn't put caps on, I could see why they would do this, but the fact that you're capping your grocery spend and pulling convenience stores out of this category, didn't make sense to me. But I know there's some those who really push the earning of points and miles on their credit cards by strictly buying prepaid Visa and Mastercards, things like that. People do that at convenience stores, but you know what, now you're just gonna have to shift it to a grocery store. To me, it didn't make sense that why they're pulling convenience stores out of there. But maybe it had to do with gas. People buying gas, and if you go in, like if you buy gas at a 7-Eleven, at the pump it's usually it codes as gas, but in-store it codes as a convenience store. So like on cards like the Cobalt card, it earns 5 times points versus 2 times points if it was at the pump. So maybe that's where they're trying to cap it, as people buying gas at these convenience stores. But still, I mean, if you put on an annual spending cap, it's not like it's a huge deal to pull that out of that category. And then they're also pulling sporting events and sporting related purchases. So like things like gym memberships, fitness memberships, they will no longer be included in the entertainment categories. Most of their cards have an accelerator of like 2% or 2 points on the entertainment category. That will no longer pay out on sporting events and sports related purchases. Those will now be at the base earn rates. Yeah, so devaluation coming from Desjardins on their cards. I know we don't cover them too much here on Rewards Canada. They kind of fly on the radar everywhere, and they have some really good cards. Like they're decent cards. I mean, the Cashback World Elite used to be ranked in our top 5 cashback cards, and it's right near there. It's usually around 6th or 7th, but that's mainly because it doesn't come with a welcome bonus for when you're first getting the card to get that extra value in the first year compared to other cards. So now they're going to drop down. I'll have to do some more reevaluations on these cards to see where they end up being and ending up in our rankings. I mean, none of the travel ones end up in the top 5 anyways, but still, at least they didn't touch the base earn rate like on their infinite privilege. I mean, their infinite privilege is 1.75% base earn rate, which is great, and they didn't touch that. The infinite privilege, the only change there is they capped the travel accelerator at 25,000 per year. That's all right. That's pretty good. I mean, 25,000. Most people don't spend that much on travel. I mean, it's higher than the BMO Ascend World Elite Mastercards, 15,000 on travel. So that was the only change of the infinite privilege, really, if I recall correctly. I don't have all the notes in front of me, but that was the main one for there. So, yeah, check out the post if you want to see all the Desjardins changes that happened. So let's move a little bit out of credit cards and let's go to a nice bonus offer. This one is from Accor Hotels. All Accor Live Limitless are offering 2 times reward points for stays at Fairmont and Accor Hotels in Canada and North America and Central America, Caribbean. So in Canada, that's mainly Fairmont Hotels, but you have your Novotels too, Sofitel, and the Hotel Belmont in Vancouver, where you're in these 2 times points. 2 times points is great because Accor runs on revenue earning, right? So you earn based on per dollar, well, per euro, they convert it to euros. So you're doubling that. So if you have an expensive stay like I show here, the Fairmont Banff Springs, the nights there easily go $500-600 a night. You can stand to earn a lot of points with these doubling of your points. So this is good at hotels in Canada, like I said, US, Mexico, Panama, Caribbean. You simply need to register for the offer and then book by December 1st, and it's good for stays until February 29th, 24th. And I didn't put it here, but earlier in the week we also posted there's another sale they have in place for the Novotels in Canada, in Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal. You can save 20% right now, so you can tie that in with this promotion. Just register for this promotion first to earn the double points, and then go book that 20% offer, 20% off offer for that. So yeah, Fairmont Hotels, Accor, all Accor Live Limitless, offering 2 times points. This is offered couple times per year usually. Sometimes it's 3 times points, but I think recently it's always been 2 times points for stays in basically North America, and for most of us it's Fairmont here in Canada. So that's that promotion, and then we're going to move right back into credit cards. I mean, it was mainly a credit card week. A few cards have their offers ending next week. We'll start off with the RBC ION cards, ION Plus, ION, and the ION card. Their increased welcome bonuses ending on Halloween, October 31st. It's 12,000 points on the ION Plus card, 6,000 points on the ION card. These offers will not be extended, I can tell you that. So if you've had your eye on them, apply for them by October 31st to get the increased welcome bonus. These are the cards we've covered here quite frequently now. The ION Plus is good for WestJet. I mean, they're both good for WestJet, but the ION Plus with its 3 points per dollar accelerated earn rates, that's 3% for WestJet dollars, highest WestJet earning card out there. And it's also, the ION cards are good as a combo with Avion cards because they increase your earn rates, and if you have an Avion card. But then again, if you have the Avion card and you apply for these cards, you're not going to earn the welcome bonus, so you don't have to rush out to get it. Because if you already have an RBC product, or even, if you have an RBC product, you will not get the bonuses on these. So it's not a big deal. But yeah, if you do have Avion cards and you want to increase your earning and value out of your Avion points, you definitely should be adding an ION Plus card to your portfolio. So those ones are ending October 31st. That was a quick one and easy. Now we'll go to the next one, and this is Bank of Montreal and their biggest ever bonuses on the Air Miles co-brand cards that they have. Now these are set to end October 31st. We do not have that. We do not have confirmation, I should say, whether they'll be extended or increased even more. I doubt they'll be increased even more. These are huge bonuses. These are the biggest ever bonuses on Air Miles cards. And by big, we mean like on the BMO Air Miles World Elite Business Mastercard, 15,000 Air Miles, a value of $1,429 after you pay the annual fee in the second year, because you need to spend $45,000 over the course of a whole year, and the last amount of the bonus will not be rewarded until after your anniversary. So, but again, a huge bonus, $1,429 of actual value after annual fees. That's the highest out of any business card in Canada right now. Yeah, you have to spend $45,000 over a year, but if you're a business that's spending a lot, take a look at this. It's a good value. So I mean, that's one. And then on the consumer side, the Air Miles World Elite, BMO Air Miles World Elite Mastercard is up to 8,000 miles. You have to spend $30,000 in the course of a year, end up with value of $722 after taking out the second year annual fee. Now both these cards are first year annual fees, so that doesn't count in the first year, but because the last part of the bonus doesn't get awarded until after you pay the annual fee in the second year, we do take that into account. So those are supposed to end on October 31st. We don't have confirmation whether they'll be extended or what the new offers will be. So if you want to be better safe than sorry, apply for them by October 31st. And yeah, and that's what we've covered this week. Like I said, the biggest thing this week was our Canada's Choice Awards. The winners and results were posted on the site, so I'll put a link to that here, but also a link to the video and the podcast, because I go into details and dissect the results, talk about the turnout and everything, so check that out for sure. And that's all she wrote for this week. I want to thank you for tuning in to This Week in Rewards and visiting the RWRDS Canada channel. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel please, it really helps us out, and hit that notification bell if you want to find out when we do post our next videos. Thanks again, and have a great weekend.